3 years after Star Trek, Picard Season 3 bowed out with a perfect ending, fans still want the Star Trek Legacy spin-off it set up. Masterminded by showrunner Terry Matalas, Star Trek Picard Season 3 is rated 97% fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was arguably the most acclaimed and popular single season of Star Trek on Paramount+. Star Trek Picard Season 3's ending was ideal. After defeating the Borg one last time, Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, and the crew of the USS Enterprise D gathered at 10 forward to celebrate and move on to the next phase of their lives. But first, Star Trek The Next Generation's cast played one more game of poker, with director Terry Matalas' camera lingering on the actors' real-life banter and camaraderie. On the newly renamed USS Enterprise G, however, Captain 7 of 9, Jeri Ryan, took command of her crew, which included her first officer, Commander Raffi Musiker, Michelle Hurd, and special counselor to the captain, Ensign Jack Crusher, Ed Spaliers. A surprise appearance by the resurrected Q, John Delancey, left a fascinating open question regarding the omnipotent being's interest in Jack Crusher's destiny. 3 years after Star Trek Picard's perfect ending, fans still want a legacy spin-off. Star Trek Picard Season 3's ending was a tacit promise for the next chapter, which Terry Matalas dubbed Star Trek Legacy. It would have chronicled the voyages of Captain Seven's Starship Enterprise, focusing on her new crew while also sprinkling in guest spots for Star Trek The Next Generation's icons and other legends. Star Trek Legacy never happened, but that hasn't stopped fans from hoping and campaigning for it. Organized fan movements like Letters for Legacy continue to rally for Star Trek Legacy to be made. Star Trek Picard's actors who would star in Legacy have also repeatedly stated how much they'd love to return to the USS Enterprise G. Despite Terry Matalas' scintillating and forward-thinking setup for Star Trek Legacy, Paramount Plus never intended to actually make his proposed spin-off. Star Trek Legacy was never in development or greenlit by Paramount Plus, and it still isn't over 3 years later. This was due to Paramount's downsizing of its Star Trek content for the studio's sale to Skydance Media, and prior commitments to other Star Trek series that already were in development, like Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Yet the unwavering desire for Star Trek Legacy proves the adage that absence makes the heart grow fonder. Fans not only hold on to their hopes to see Captain 7 of 9 Starship Enterprise, but also the continuation of the 25th century as the next logical step of the ongoing saga that Star Trek The Next Generation began. Will Star Trek Legacy happen on Paramount Plus? Star Trek Legacy is still only wishful thinking, with Paramount Plus winding down executive producer Alex Kurtzman's era of Star Trek and canceling his last 2 remaining series, Star Trek Strange New Worlds and Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Both shows will premiere their final seasons in 2027. What happens after that is an open question. Star Trek's future, on both the television and movie sides, is a mystery and cause for concern under Paramount Skydance's new management. Star Trek movies seem to be the studio's priority, although the announced film in development reportedly will not be connected to prior Star Trek movies and TV shows. It's possible that when Star Trek returns to television on Paramount Plus, the new series could follow the movie's lead and also disconnect from the past 60 years of the franchise. If this is the case, then there's no chance for Star Trek Legacy, which is steeped in and inextricable from Star Trek lore. While potential Star Trek Legacy actors like Jeri Ryan, Jonathan Frakes, Michelle Hurd, and Todd Stashwick remain optimistic, others, like Marina Sirtis, flatly state that Star Trek Legacy is never gonna happen, because the time for it has passed and Paramount Skydance has moved on. Star Trek has long taught diehards that there are always possibilities, and Star Trek Picard's fans will likely always want Star Trek Legacy until it happens or until it's clear that it can never be. Meanwhile, whatever new Star Trek emerges in the years to come will inevitably be in the shadow of and compared to Star Trek Legacy.